Greetings, Grizzlies. Hi, and welcome to one of the hardest working crews on the planet, which by now I'm sure you already know. I'm so sorry that our meeting got interrupted because that's the one time during this week that we all get to at least have a moment with each other, see who people are, see who's in what space, and then also this year something we're having to do because of cuts is use people in more than one space. So we were hoping to actually be able to explain and physically see who moves where. And actually we're still making moves. 2022 has been a challenge. COVID still rears its ugly head, so please continue to be safe, okay? The history of the Grizzlies is not actually what you might think. It, for some people, represent that we're this big, fierce crew like grizzly bears. Actually, no. The name for the Grizzlies comes from a Dan Larson cartoon, and it's these two bears sitting in this rusted out car in the middle of the woods with trees all around it, and one of them looks at the other and says, "You know what, Vern? If we could get this baby running, we could pick up females, we could run down campers. Man, we'd be the Grizzlies from hell." And during that year, actually, I believe that was 93, we were having a horrible time, believe it or not, worse than what you've been going through. And that cartoon just spoke to us because trying to get the festival to run that year was like trying to get that old rustic car to actually move out of the woods. A quick word also on something. Listen, guys, nobody wants to smell that. Take a shower, get up early enough. Hygiene is important, okay? And wash your hands. We are still in COVID world. Okay, and also, this pass right here is the only all-access pass in the festival. Have it with you when you go places along with your Grizzlies shirt, okay? Because this shirt also identifies you, not just to other people, but also to us, okay? Because, again, we didn't get to have a meeting, so I didn't actually get to see everybody. But I have been watching some of you, and I am very proud of the work that you have been doing and the effort that you have put in to making this a very successful festival. And the reason this message comes today, I think we opened 15 shows today. I think also that no other festival on earth does what we do, okay? You also need to know some other individuals. In case I fall down in the street and am unable to continue, it is Felicia Douglas, who is my director of personnel, who is the next in charge. Then you have Derek Marion, who is logistics and lighting. He's the next when Felicia gets hit by a flying bolt of fabric. Then you have JP Mulligan when Derek overcomes to too much caffeine. All right. And then last but certainly not least, you have two individuals who have been with me for years. Sean Barnave, Buddha Man. And when you see him, you'll know why he's Buddha. And Leon, who is a Buddha in a different temple. They are both rotund and beautiful human beings who I met, I believe, in 91 or 93. I was at King Chapel, and the founder of the festival, Larry Leon Hamlin, ordered me to go introduce myself to Maya Angelou, which I did not want to do. But he said, "You got to, because you're about to design a show for her." So I said, okay. So I was on Morehouse campus in Atlanta, and I was going to King Chapel, I think it's called. And to this day, and I got a pretty good memory, I cannot remember why I spoke to those two young men who were coming up the hill in front of me. But it turned out to be Buddha and Leon. And they are both integral and they are both friends. What would I do without them? Now, my sons, Arthur, who holds a record because he's the youngest space TD to ever operate here at the festival. And then Julian, who is now making his own mark by being the only festival TD to ever run 3 theaters by himself at one time. Nobody's ever done that. Now, some people call me Papa Bear. I am sitting in the Reese Theater, which is a space that I designed so that the performers would be closer to the audience. It's a thrust space, basically. But I also knew that Ms. Hamlin and Larry Leon were spending money to rent spaces in the Benton Convention Center. So we were trying to figure out, how do we put this space that we're already paying for to use? And so we now have the Hamlin 1, which is pretty much the same kind of arrangement. And this is interesting. This theater is called the Reese Theater. And this is the last festival that we'll be using this one. We have to build a new one. But it was not supposed to be the Reese Theater. It was supposed to be the Pavilion Theater. And Grant Minix, another wonderful human, made a sign that said, the Pavilion Theater designed by Reese, and put that outside for the first year. And then after that, it simply became the Reese Theater, because I'm not arrogant enough to name a theater after myself. Now, I think there's 96 of us, and that's an awful lot of people to try and corral and move. I want you to be certain, especially we're opening 15 shows, but then again, coming up on Wednesday, we're going to be changing over. And it's important that you call the production office, okay? And we'll make sure everyone has that number before you leave a space and take your happy self home or at the bar, okay? Hey, a very important point that I want to make sure that you get. One of my strongest rules is people are tired, they're trying to work, and you're trying to get your swerve on and have the door locked to the room so that your roommate can't get in. Absolutely not. Do not do that. Okay? Another quick word. That Grizzlies shirt that you should be wearing every day, hey, if it gets too funky and starts to leave for work without you, what I have done in the past is I will start my shower with one on, hang it over the shower rail, and that way it should be relatively less funky for the next time you need it. Okay? But please do. Derek and JP have worked so hard to have a schedule that not only gets you to where you need to be when you need to be there, it is also rest in that schedule whenever possible. So standing at the bar till 4 a.m., getting high, Arthur and Eric, you know who I'm talking about, and then trying to jump up at 8 a.m., y'all know that don't work. Okay, come on. Get your rest. Be fresh, because if it's not safe, it's no good. And if you are burning yourself, that's when mistakes happen. And theater is an easy place to get killed. You hear me? You see all the stuff we're putting in the air and the things we're doing. Okay, you got to be alert. You got to be as fresh as possible. And I know we're working you hard, but we're trying not to burn you out, because we want to all get through this week healthy and safe and victorious. And we're on our way. Okay, it's running now, and festival has a momentum of its own. And once it starts running, sometimes the best thing is to get out of the way and let it go. I also got to mention one other person. Dee Dee Fields took over a new position this year, and my sweet Babu has just skyrocketed. She was supposed to have some help that didn't really turn out to be help. We're going to talk about that a little later in private, okay? And every ball that was dropped, Dee Dee picked it up. She refused to let us fail. So Dee Dee, thank you. I love you so much, okay? I truly appreciate you all. And if you need me, I am here, okay? All of you matter to me, every single one. Hang in there and keep swinging, okay? Ninpo Ikan is the law of the ninja, is my primary vow and inspiration, okay? That's what Ninpo Ikan means on your shirt. That means we are silent, we are efficient, we are deadly, we're not trying to kill nobody, okay? So know that there is a proud heritage in the silent, wonderful work that we do. And again, I thank you all so much. Now, I would like to close with some words from the founder of the festival, Larry Leon Hamlin. When it comes to the festival, the drama is in the tech. And I'm wishing you all a wonderful festival. I'm always here if you need me. I mean that. You all matter. Now let's keep doing the right thing. Thank you so much. Have a good festival.